Liverpool Maritime Mercantile City is a former UNESCO-designated World Heritage Site in Liverpool, England, which comprised 6 locations in the city centre including the Pierhead, Albert Dock and William Brown Street, and many of the city's most famous landmarks. UNESCO received Liverpool City Council's nomination for the 6 sites in 2003 and sent ICOMOS representatives to carry out an evaluation on the eligibility for these areas to be given World Heritage Site status. In 2004, ICOMOS recommended that UNESCO should award Liverpool Maritime Mercantile City World Heritage Site status. Its inclusion by UNESCO was attributed to it being the supreme example of a commercial port at a time of Britain's greatest global influence. In 2012, the site was added to the list of World Heritage in danger due to the proposed Liverpool Waters project. In 2017, UNESCO warned that the site status as a World Heritage Site was at risk of being rescinded in light of planning and development proposals, with English Heritage asserting that the proposed Liverpool Waters development would leave the setting of some of Liverpool's most significant historic buildings severely compromised. The archaeological remains of parts of the historic docks at risk of destruction, and the city's historic urban landscape permanently unbalanced. In 2021, Liverpool City Council's Planning Committee approved Everton FC's new £500 million football stadium in Bramley Moor Dock, within Liverpool Waters. This decision was ratified by the Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government, Robert Jenrick, and the World Heritage Committee voted to strip the site of its UNESCO status. The Liverpool Maritime Mercantile City comprised 6 separate locations throughout the centre of the city, each of which related to a different component and time in the Liverpool's maritime history. The inscribed sites extended for approximately 4 kilometres. The Pierhead is the focal point of Liverpool's waterfront and is dominated by 3 of its most recognisable landmarks: the Liver Building, the Port of Liverpool Building and the Cunard Building, collectively referred to as the Three Graces. They stand as a testament to the great wealth in the city during the late 19th and early 20th century, when Liverpool was one of the most important ports in the world. Initially, plans existed to add a 4th grace to area, named the Cloud and designed by Will Alsop. However, this fell through in 2004. Today, in what would have been its place, a new Museum of Liverpool opened on the 19th of July 2011. Behind the Port of Liverpool building is the Art Deco George's Dock Ventilation Tower, whose design is heavily influenced by Egyptian architectural styling. Also a part of the site is the Old George's Dock Wall, which dates from the late 18th century, as well as several memorials, including one built to honor the engineers who remained at their post as the RMS Titanic sank. Listed buildings: the Albert Dock is a complex of dock buildings and warehouses located to the south of the Pierhead, designed by Jesse Hartley and Philip Hardwick and opened in 1846. The Albert Dock warehouses were the first in the world to be entirely fireproof, due to their construction from only iron, brick and stone, with no structural wood. The dock was home to many advances in docking technology, including being the first to have hydraulic cranes. During World War II, the buildings suffered significant damage and general docking decline in the city after the end of the war saw them fall rapidly into disrepair. In the 1980s, the area underwent massive regeneration after the creation of the Merseyside Development Corporation, and the complex was reopened to the public in 1984 as part of the Tall Ships Festival. Today they form a focal point for tourism in the city, being home to Tate Liverpool, Merseyside Maritime Museum and the Beatles story. They also constitute the largest single collection of Grade 1 listed buildings anywhere in the UK. Listed buildings: the Stanley Dock Conservation Area is located to the north of the Pierhead and includes huge swathes of Liverpool's docking heartland. Within the site are several docks including Stanley Dock, Collingwood Dock, Salisbury Dock and Clarence Graving Dock, parts of the Leeds-Liverpool Canal and associated canal locks, and many smaller features such as bridges, bollards and capstans. Two of the Clarence Graving docks are notable as the oldest docks still in use in the city today, dating back to 1830, although their full development wasn't completed until 1848. Amongst the buildings in the area are the Victoria Clock Tower and Stanley Dock Tobacco Warehouse, one of the largest brick buildings in the world. Listed buildings. The Rope Walks site comprises the southwestern component of the Duke Street Conservation Area, as well as two warehouses on College Lane and Bluecoat Chambers on School Lane. The location was one of the first areas in the city to develop W.H.